Welcome on into Second and Short. It is Tuesday, which means it is time to talk with me, your host, Tyler Louder. And Second and Short is the NFL premier podcast radio show going over Mel Kipers 3.0 Mock Draft. With the NFL draft less than 6 weeks away, like less than 5 weeks away, we are in full gear for rookie fever. And it's time to break down some rookies. Let's talk about the NFL draft for 2021, which is going to be held in Cleveland, Ohio. The man that is always around, that we always see, and he's covering everything, is Mel Kiper. He's the man that gets most of the fans' criticism, and yet he never gets the praise from anybody. And I think he's got to be okay with that. Like, he has to understand who he is and where he's at. So with all that being said, let's jump on in. And here we are, 15 consecutive losses. Earn them the number one pick in the NFL draft, and they will get prize child, Sunshine, from Remember the Titans, the quarterback that everybody's been wanting since he led Clemson to a national championship again and again, and has been a guy that he just does not lose. That's it. He's a winner. And it's quarterback Trevor Lawrence from the University of Clemson. Now, what's funny about this is Urban Meyer used to be the head coach of Ohio State, took on, the responsibility of trying to beat these other teams. And I'm sure back when he was scouting, if he could have recruited and brought in Trevor Lawrence, he would have done so in a heartbeat. And now he gets a chance to play with him right here. Trevor Lawrence is a guy that has been looked at as potentially a number one pick for the past several years. If he'd have came out last year, I feel like he'd have been the number one pick. The year before that, I feel like he'd have been the number one pick. And I like everything about this guy. I think this is the only pick the Jags can make. The only way they don't make this pick is if they trade down with somebody and stay in the top 5 and still get a quarterback that they like and get the biggest trade deal in NFL history by getting like 4 first rounders plus some players plus some other picks. Like, that's how good Trevor Lawrence is going to be. Now we have to be realistic about this. The Jags have been good about 4 times in the NFL, 5 times in the NFL, 5 different seasons where they've been a really good team, and they don't have consistency. Now, getting somebody like this is showing consistency. Getting a really good coach is going to help show consistency. They have 4 picks in the top 45, and they are going to be able to get him some help. He's coming on in with DJ Chark as his number 1 receiver. They just signed Marvin Jones Jr. in the offseason. On the defensive side, they've been piling up. They just got Shaq Griffin, Jenkins, Robert Harris. They're getting some guys. They have some money to play with and still can go out and sign some more guys. They're going to be able to have 4 top picks to build this team up, and this team is going to look good in the future. Huge pick for them. Great pick for them. I like this pick. Let's go ahead and move on to number 2. And now this morning, when he was talking with Mike Greenberg on ESPN radio, he was kind of saying how Sam Darnold would be the second best quarterback if he was in this draft. Yet in this, he has the New York Jets taking Zach Wilson, quarterback from BYU. He says he's 50-50. Apparently, wide receiver Corey Davis said that when he signed with the New York Jets, it was because he was told Sam Darnold was the starting quarterback, and that's who he wanted to play with. But here we go. Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU, has been shooting up draft boards. People love this guy. I'm not his biggest fan. I don't think it's the best pick for them. I think he is the 4th best quarterback in this draft, and I will live and die on that hill and be wrong in the future. Zach Wilson brings together a nice profile. Let's be honest about that. That's what is intriguing about him. He offers little risk in the fact that he has not been hurt. He's played with BYU, but he still looked good. I mean, 33 touchdowns. He's 6'3", 210. I mean, he's just got a great build to him for a quarterback. He's not like I don't think he's a heartbreaker in any situation. I don't think he's the best quarterback in any one category that you'd break down with these big 5 that we have going on. But I do think that he has a safe feel about him. However, I think he will be the bust of this quarterback group. And the New York Jets are taking on a big risk that I don't think they should be taking. I think they should just stick with Sam Darnold and just draft an offensive tackle. But they go quarterback here. I don't agree with the move. Let's move on. Number 3, he has his first trade. The Carolina Panthers move up 5 spots to get a quarterback. The Dolphins moved down to 8, and they probably would acquire some first and second round picks in the next years going forward. Now, Miami already has 4 picks in the top 50, thanks to the deals with, having the Houston Texans first and second round picks. Now, for the Carolina Panthers, they go up and they get quarterback Justin Fields out of Ohio State. Now, we've already seen the Carolina Panthers be aggressive in this offseason when they tried to acquire Matt Stafford, apparently offering Teddy Bridgewater and the 8th overall pick for Stafford, and it didn't get done. So there's no reason to think that they won't move up. I personally would love for them just to sit put and take the quarterback that falls them. But if you're in love with the guy, go get him. Justin Fields is also a huge winner. The thing that we know about Matt Rule is that he likes a couple quarterbacks in this draft. Obviously, everybody loves Trevor Lawrence, but I think he truly loves Justin Fields and Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. And I don't know if he wants to risk waiting and not getting either of them. I don't think he wants Zach Wilson or Mac Jones as much as he wants the other two. So that's why they make the move here. For Carolina, they get to hit their restart right now. They've already been building this team. Last year, they went all defense, first team ever in NFL history to go all one side of the ball, and they did. And some of those picks were fantastic. Getting a quarterback that you believe in going forward, they don't believe in Teddy Bridgewater, is key. Justin Fields is a winner. He's mobile. He can hit that ball deep. He's got a great touch on him, and he's a smart quarterback. I like Justin Fields going forward. He's my number 3 ranked quarterback in this draft. So if Carolina were to get him at number 3, it's a good move for them. Giving up future picks is always risky, but if you're set on quarterback for the next 15 to 20 years, we see what it does when you're the New Orleans Saints, Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, Tom Brady and the New England Patriots, now Buccaneers. We see what happens when you have consistency. You don't got to worry about drafting high again. Number 4, we have 4 picks in, and we're going to go quarterback 4 times in a row. And this is where Trey Lance, quarterback of North Dakota State, gets drafted by the Atlanta Falcons. I do believe that even though Matt Ryan is still only, he's in his mid-30s, he's still playing at a pretty high level. He hasn't really fallen off. I think they are ready to kind of transition. So you go and get Trey Lance, who is my number 2 quarterback in the draft. If this fell the way it did, I think Atlanta gets a steal here. They got to sit still, and they got a better quarterback than what they normally would have gotten if everybody falls based on rankings. Trey Lance only played like 17 games in college. He looked fantastic, didn't turn the ball over at all, had tons of touchdowns, tons of yards, both through the air and on the ground in a whole year as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State. Came back this fall, played 1 game, looked okay, and everybody is worried about that whole situation, and they're not ranking him as high. They say he played lower competition. Last time I checked, North Dakota State University for the past 10 years has been beating whatever teams will play them from the FBS. It's a huge move for them as they try and transition away from Matt Ryan into a new, cheaper direction. Number 5, Cincinnati Bengals. Now, this is one of the worst picks they could make, in my opinion. He has them taking tight end Kyle Pitts out of Florida. Now, don't get me wrong, Kyle Pitts looks great. I'd have to go through, I am not old enough to remember a single time that a tight end has been drafted in the top 5. I'm sure it has happened, but I cannot remember last time it has happened. Now, Kyle Pitts just ran a 4.440, 4.46 to be exact, as a tight end. He's extremely fast. He's a high point catcher. He's got a huge catch radius. His wingspan is fantastic. His ability to create separation in the slot underneath is huge. Linebackers won't be able to keep up. Cornerbacks are too small. Safeties are too slow. That's what's going to happen. They're going to have too much space away, and he's going to be able to beat them. However, protecting Joe Burrow is the most important thing here. You can have me sub in at tight end and have the best offensive tackle, and that would be better than having a bad offensive tackle, left tackle, right tackle, whatever, and then having a really good tight end. If you don't have time to throw the ball, your weapons don't matter. That's how I look at that. There's a reason why Aaron Rodgers looks great, and they don't go out and they don't spend tons of money on wide receivers. You know why? Because he has tons of protection. Just give him time. They'll get open. He'll find them. And that's where it's at. Now, Kyle Pitts is a fantastic pick. I think he is 5, I think, is where he should go. I think he's one of the top 5 players in this draft. However, position importance matters, and offensive tackle matters more. Riley Reef is not enough. Number 6, we're going to kind of speed through these last 5 picks here. Philadelphia Eagles go on and get Jamarr Chase. Jalen Hurts is the guy they're going to go forward with. Based on this pick, they will be out of the quarterback, situation and room, and going on and getting Jamarr Chase, who is the best, second best player. Probably, I don't know. I'm going back and forth to number 1, number 2. He is one of the top 2 players in this draft. Now, last year, Justin Jefferson came out and looked fantastic. He came from LSU. Going into the draft, Justin Jefferson was looked at as a number 3 to number 6 ranked wide receiver in that draft class. Most people had him at the 5-6 spot. You know why he wasn't able to shine and be the number 1 guy last year? And everybody's like, oh, you're all wrong. Because he played across from Jamarr Chase, who outpaced him in the all wide receiver categories in their national championship year. Chase that out this past year, not wanting to ruin his draft stock. Eagles get a huge number 1 here for them. It'll be great going forward. Lions take Davonte Smith, Heisman winning wide receiver, who is my number 4 wide receiver ranked. I think he got the benefit from Jaylen Waddle being injured most of the year and nobody else being able to catch a ball for the Bama Crimson Tide. But he's still a fantastic player. 170 pounds is where he's at. It kind of scares me. He's light. We'll see what happens the first time he comes across the middle and gets hit by a linebacker that weighs 250, 260. We'll see. But the Detroit Lions need guys for Jared Goff. This is a good move for them. Now, we have the Miami Dolphins fall back. We know they need a wide receiver. They went out and signed Will Fuller on a 1-year deal. They need more help. They go on and they get Jaylen Waddle, another wide receiver from Alabama. And I think it's a fantastic pick for them. We're seeing a lot of offense get drafted here. Every pick has been an offensive playmaker position. And then we come in to pick number 9, and the Minnesota Vikings jump 5 spots and get an elite talent. They get Penei Sewell, offensive tackle from Oregon, who sat out this past year. They just lost Riley Reef to free agency. They need protection for Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has had about 1 to 2 seconds max to throw the ball over these past few years. If you do not get this guy help, he is not going to be able to deliver for you. So go out, get him help. Sewell is the best offensive tackle in this draft, even if he's not his top 2. Getting him at 9 is a huge steal. Great move for them. And at number 10, he has the Dallas Cowboys, who now have secured their quarterback with Dak Prescott. I just told you, they went out and they signed Keanu Neal. They needed safety help. Here, they get a premier shutdown cornerback, maybe the next island guy that we have, and that is cornerback Patrick Surtain II from Alabama. He is a premier playmaking cornerback who is going to shut down opposing wide receivers. I don't care if they are a veteran or a rookie. He is going to come in and look great. He'll be a day 1 starter, and it's a huge move for the Dallas Cowboys. I agree with a lot of these things that Mel Kiper has going on here. I don't agree with some of the placement of some of these guys, but you just saw right here, 9 straight offensive players to start the NFL draft. Number 10, the Dallas Cowboys, are probably either going to go offensive tackle or defensive back. They go cornerback here. And that's going to do it for us here on Second and Short. Now, I do apologize. That last segment ran pretty long. However, it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun talking about the NFL draft. We're going to get more in depth in it as the next coming weeks show up. We're going to talk about each group of positions and our feelings on these and our rankings on them as well. Be sure to check out Second and Short on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, as well as YouTube. We are posting content consistently. There's something every day going on there. You can see more from me. My name is Tyler Lauder. Thank you guys for taking your time out of your day to join and listen to me.